What's up, everybody? Prince Elias here, and I have my girl's coils. One day I'll do an update video on all my reptiles. She's one of the new additions, and so hey, sit down. Sorry if you hear any rattling, it's my dog. Every time I turn on the camera, she wants to move around because she wants me to center her attention, but she's not today because this is Snake Cinema, where I play and hang out with my snakes while reviewing a movie or a TV show or whatever comes to mind. Now this video is going to be a little different because I'll be reviewing 3 things, but they all have one thing in common. What they have in common is that these 3 things have disappointed me greatly this year. Now, off the bat, 2019 gave us some great things as far as TVs and movies, especially movies. Like it gave us Us, it gave us Avengers, it gave us Captain Marvel, it gave us a lot of great things, a lot of indie films that I need to review, that I love, but it has also given me a ton of disappointments. And the top 3 disappointing things is this new season of Black Mirror, X-Men Dark Pheonix, and I hate to say it, but the Twilight Zone remake. Those 3 things have disappointed me to the max this year, and I'm so hurt by it. So let's talk about it. So the first disappointment, and the biggest one, is the Twilight Zone remake. Now, growing up as a kid, I loved the Twilight Zone. First of all, we didn't have cable, so I had to watch the, local channels, the 3, 5, 10, 15, whatever. And one of those channels growing up always played reruns of the Twilight Zone. And I just absolutely loved it. I love the stories. I love the twists. I love just everything about it, the writing, the characters. A lot of famous actors and actresses got their debut in the Twilight Zone that, it was just great. It was a great show. And Rod Serling, the creator, he doesn't get enough credit because he really made history with that show back in the day. And he was an innovator. He was beyond his time. He really was. And so when I heard that Jordan Peele, one of my favorite horror directors, because he gave us Get Out and he gave us Us, and both of those movies were top-notch, superior, great, crazy, wild. I just love both those films. So when I heard that he was bringing back Twilight Zone on CBS All Access, I believe that is, I was ecstatic. I could not wait. So it comes out. I get that little subscription so I can watch all the episodes. Well, I waited. I'm gonna be honest. I did not get it. I did not watch the Twilight Zone remake when it first appeared because I wanted all the episodes to come out, and I just binge watched them all because we're living in a time of binge watching. I ain't gonna lie. So, got my CBS All Access, binge watched it, and boy, the most disappointing part, the most disappointing thing, now don't get me wrong, there were some good episodes in the Twilight Zone remake. I'm not going to say all of it was trash. I'm not going to say the whole season as a whole was trash. It was just disappointing. It wasn't what I expected. The one thing I love about the original was, coils, you're getting a little tight now. Ooh, okay, there we go. One thing that I loved about the original is that, yes, it gave them social commentary. It talked about governments and things that were happening back then, racism, wars and stuff, but it did it in a creative way. It wasn't hammered into your fucking face. It was like you're watching a story about aliens and you had no idea that they were talking about homelessness in it. They're talking about, technology and all this times travel and stuff, but you didn't realize till later on, oh, wait a minute, damn, they talking about our country, they talking about this, they talking about that. And so, like I said, Rod Serling was ahead of his fucking time, man. And so to watch this new one, the acting was good for the most part. The cinematography, that Jordan Peele knows how to direct. He knows how to direct, and for the most part, he knows how to write. He's a very creative man. But I felt like what he and the other writers of the show dropped the ball is that They gave us social commentary, which we all know is going to happen, but they weren't creative with it. Like, damn, give us something creative and hit us with the message at the end. Don't hit us with the message at the very beginning, throughout the entire long run of the episode, and then at the end and have it be all preachy. That was the problem. It was too preachy. You know, if you're going to talk about, you know, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, or whatever, it's integrated. Switch it up. Give us, if you don't want to do aliens like the old Twilight Zone did a lot, they loved aliens and time travel. Give us fucking zombies. Give us vampires. Give us something to mask the message. You know, they always have that saying, and I'm going to misquote it, but basically giving person the medicine in the bread or in the cupcake or something. Like, hide the medicine. Don't just hammer it in our face of, oh, all men are the same, and rape culture and Black Lives Matter. Like, all those, I'm a social justice warrior. I am. I'm not ashamed of it. But I like it when creators are creative with their message. In this Twilight Zone remake, was not creative. It was preachy. I felt like I was in somebody's church. It just, like I said, it wasn't complete trash, but they could have did better. And that's my only review on it. Like I said, the acting was great for the most part. Cinematography was good. It was just, they did not put the medicine in the applesauce. They did not integrate it well creatively and hide the message like Rod Serling did back in those days when the original Twilight Zone first came out. Now, what Jordan Peele did do that I liked was all the Easter eggs to the old Twilight Zone episodes. He would like put different characters in, or he'll name a character after somebody from one of the old episodes. The way he kind of wove that in, and I was like, hey, I know where that's from. You know, the Easter eggs I did like. So I'm not going to say that show was all trash, because it wasn't. It was just a little tad bit disappointing. It could have been better. Second disappointment. This season of Black Mirror. Now, everybody says Black Mirror is this new age of the Twilight Zone, which is true. For technology, for futuristic, yes. And if you look at all the previous Black Mirror seasons, you basically said that you basically thought that Charlie Brooker was Rod Serling coming back to life incarnate. He really knows how to do storytelling and do storytelling well. And he knows how to shock you. There's some episodes where he just want to shock the fuck out of us, and it works. Like, we go in thinking one thing and we come out like, what the? Like episodes like Shut Up and Dance and stuff like that, where you just want to throw your head and walk away. Or Crocodile. Oh my gosh, Crocodile. I literally stopped watching the rest of that season for some weeks. It took me a while to go back and finish the rest of that season after the episode. Like, I literally threw my phone. Luckily it didn't break. And so this season, it was just 3 episodes. And so when I saw that, I was like, hey, 3 episodes. They're going back to what they did back in season 1 and 2, where it was like a short season. And I like that, because when you're not chugging out 10 episodes every season, or 8 or 7, you're able to focus more. You're able to think more, be more creative, because you only have 3 stories. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, these 3 stories are going to be the best. And then I saw that Anthony Mackie was going to be in one, saw that Miley Cyrus was going to be in one, and I was like, oh my gosh, they about to kill it. They gave what was it, Bandersnatch, that interactive movie earlier, well, late last year or whatever, and I was still on the hype train of that, because I thought that was so creative and so cool that Netflix and Black Mirror were able to do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, imagine just 3 episode season, how fire it will be. It wasn't fire. I'll be honest. Whoo, talk about, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry because they lacked. I don't know if it's because he ran out of ideas. Him and his writers ran out of ideas. I don't know if it's because they felt pressure and they were rushing. I don't know what it was, but it was so lackluster. Like, oh my gosh, this season was so lackluster. Again, technical wise, Cinematography wise, acting wise, great, top notch. You got some great actors, you got, you know, great cameraman, you got great CGI, well, before TV, you know, great CGI. But the stories, I don't care how good your CGI is, I don't care how good your acting is, I don't care how good, you know, the technology is in the story. If the story isn't good, or if it's slow, this season dragged. Like, it really dragged. I think the only good episode that I absolutely love and will rewatch is the one where the guy, I don't know if it was the last episode or second episode, but the one with the guy, you know, he, and spoiler alert, I'm gonna spoil some, it's gonna be some spoilers in this. He had a bad car accident because he wasn't paying attention to the road. He was looking at his phone, checking their version of Facebook, and caused a wreck and killed his wife. And he had to go through that grief. He had to go through that pain. And he blamed the owner of Facebook. And so he puts a worker hostage just so he can get on the phone with the owner of their Facebook. And basically, you know, to tell him, you know, how you ruined my life. But in reality, he ruined his own life because he was addicted to the app. He couldn't put his damn phone down while on the phone, while driving. And so that whole situation, that whole story, and I felt for that character, even though yes, it is your fault. You can't just sit there and blame app for your addiction. I still felt his pain, and that was by far the best episode of the whole season. And I can see myself rewatching it. That was a good episode. I'm not going to spoil the ending of how it ended, but that was a good episode. The rest of them, the one that everybody's talking about, Striking Vipers, and I honestly feel like the only reason why everybody is talking about Striking Vipers is because it's two guys playing video games and they end up fucking in the video game. Like it wasn't good. And I really was expecting a lot after Miley Cyrus episode. You know, she's a pop star singer. And it seemed like she was suffering and going through so much. And I was like, oh, I want to know how they're going to tell this story. It seems very good, very intriguing about the music business and, you know, fame. And it was a drag. It really was a drag. I hope Coils is entertaining y'all, because I feel like I'm jumbling over my words. And so I hope the snake is at least, you know, making this review better for you. But yeah, man, this season was very disappointing to Black Mirror. They've done better. Even in previous episodes with the weakest episodes, I feel like the weakest episodes in past seasons were better than these episodes here. And that says a lot, because it's been some weak episodes in the past. For instance, what was that Waldo experiment in season 1 or 2? Everybody says that's the worst episode of the whole series. I could rewatch that before I rewatch some of these, just being honest. So very disappointed in Black Mirror this year, besides, you know, the Bandersnatch movie, which it probably came out last year. I can't remember. Time is a blur. Last but not least, woo, I thank God that Disney has bought Fox. I want Disney to take the X-Men series and take the Fantastic Four out to the pasture with a shotgun and shoot them dead. Let's not make another fucking Fantastic Four movie. Let's not make another X-Men movie. These things have gone down the toilet, gone down the drain. If Fox would have just ended X-Men on Logan and left it out there, that would have been a perfect ending to the whole X-Men franchise. But no, they want to keep making these fucking movies, and they fucked it up again. They fucked up the whole Dark Phoenix story back in the first couple of X-Men trilogies, and they fucked this one up. And it's like, oh my gosh, you could have ended on Logan. You could have ended the Wolverine story, which in turn would have ended the X-Men story, and it just would have been perfect. But you guys just wanted to fucking milk these stories for the money and not give a damn about the stories. The actors didn't even want to be in the movie anymore. They didn't want to be in the franchise, and you felt it. You felt it. I love Jennifer Lawrence, but she did not give a damn about this movie, and her performance was so fucking shitty. Like, oh my gosh, Dark Phoenix was such a disappointment. And we all saw it coming, like we could tell from the trailers, but I was holding on to dear hope. I was having hope. And y'all let me down yet again. So, Disney, you bought Fox. I'm pretty sure you're going to do something with X-Men and Fantastic Four, but I'm over it. I'm over it. Just give us the usual MCU characters. If you want to get new characters that never been seen on film before, do that. But, man, fuck these X-Men and fuck these Fantastic Four movies. I'm done. I am over it. Biggest disappointment of the year is probably going to be when I do the end of the year top 10 and top 10 best and top 10 worst list. This is definitely going to be #1 unless somebody really fuck up their movie later on this year and top that. But oh my gosh, I just hate watching movies that you can tell that the people in it did not give a damn about, and the writers did not give a damn about. It was just, that was the biggest disappointment, really. No, actually, it wasn't the biggest disappointment because I did not have that much high expectations, but still, I was still rooting for you guys. I was rooting for you, X-Men. I love X-Men comics. I've been reading those comics since a kid. My daddy got into this nerd shit. And for y'all to do my favorite characters like that, oh my gosh. They should have ended the X-Men story with the New Mutants on Days of Futures Past. Days of Futures Past was so awesome, so good. They could have ended it there, and they could have ended the entire franchise with Logan. But they just had to keep going and give us these shitty movies with the actors who did not want to be in it. They would rather do something else. And then y'all did my girl Sansa like that. Like, she just got off Game of Thrones. She's a great actress, but y'all gave her a shitty movie to act in. Y'all gave her a shitty movie and a shitty character. So what is she supposed to do with that? She's so fucking talented and y'all gave her this bullshit? Oh my gosh. So yeah. Anyways. Those are my 3 disappointments so far of the year. I'm pretty sure some lazy producer and writer is going to give us more shitty films. But for the most part, there's been more good than bad. I will say there's been more good than bad. I think I'm just more hurt with shows like Black Mirror and shows like Twilight Zone because I've seen them do it right. I've seen them do it great. I've seen these directors and these writers make great art in movies and television. So when they drop the ball, it really hurts. It really hurts because my expectations for them were high. But that's it. This is a long ass video. I'm sorry you guys, but that's it for today's episode of Snake Cinema with me and Coils. Don't know which snake is going to be in the next video, but hopefully the next video, the next review will be a lot better, a lot happier, and a lot cheerier. But anyways, we are out. Mwah.